You guys can make fun of the Diamond Gym and the way they train, but they're actually super optimal for many reasons. Even though they're not doing reps in full range of motion, there's already a scientific term for this. For you guys who like science-based training, it's called partial reps. But some of you can say that it's not the right application of partial reps, right? What if I told you that it's still optimal? Because they were not doing partial reps all along. They were actually doing one of my favorite ways of training, which is called oscillatory isometrics. In oscillatory isometrics, you're basically pumping reps in one particular angle. And oscillatory isometrics with heavy weights is a great way to increase your overall strength, explosive power, and endurance, because isometrics is arguably the greatest training method to increase your overall contractile force. Now, the Diamond Gym goers are also obsessed with high reps of any exercise, right? Even if you guys don't like the way they do their reps, doing a certain exercise for high reps is super beneficial. You know the classic: high reps recruit your slow twitch muscle, then resort to fast twitch when it goes longer. You're basically working both your muscle fiber types. We also know the classic phenomenon of prisoners doing high reps and becoming muscular even in prison. Plus, the prison environment is full of wild, dangerous, and harmful people who can take you out anytime they want if you're not prepared. And speaking of environments, the Diamond Gym also has this environment where you are, as they coined it in Will Tennyson's video, surrounded by savages, therefore you become a savage. In this case, they are not prisoners. And the Diamond Gym is not a prison. You can walk away from the gym, unlike in prison where you have no choice. But if you're someone who walks into something that you know will put you in very challenging situations, your mind also becomes as calloused as the people who are pushing you and influencing you on what it means to be the strong version of yourself. These environmental factors force you and your body to adapt. Now, obviously, their training is already somewhat as optimal. As you can see how people in that gym are built. Of course, it's working for them, especially with the fact that this is basically their whole lives since the 90s. But is training in the Diamond Gym really optimal? Yes, it is, if you extract the right variables. You can implement their style of doing oscillatory isometrics, high reps, and of course, the mindset. What makes it optimal is if you subtract the no water rule, ego lifting, and the frequency of your intense sessions throughout a week or a month to avoid injuries that might permanently take away your ability to put in the work in the gym. Now, would I advocate you to train in the Diamond Gym? If you're someone who lacks like this, inner character strength and you want to improve yourself through physical training, I suggest that you go on your own fitness journey alone first, and then you get to an environment similar to the Diamond Gym without the no water rule, ego lifting, and that might off you. Anyways, this has been Marco, and thank you so much for sticking with me throughout the video. I'd appreciate it if you let me know your thoughts on this topic, and I would appreciate it if you drop a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm doing the quarter reps.